Live in 5. Hey, welcome back. We officially have a podcast name, the Not My Circus Podcast, Episode 2. We're happy to have y'all join us. To start off, we're going to let Gabe fact check Episode 1. So, Gabe, if you want to start.
All right. If y'all recall last time, we were talking about the end of last episode if Godzilla could exist, and I said I don't think he can. Y'all can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's impossible because I mentioned his weight, and yes, that is in fact true. Like I said last podcast, this is all like hypotheticals. Godzilla doesn't really exist, so this was an easy one for me to win. But yeah, it'd be too much weight for him. And also, there was there's a bunch of YouTube videos too about it. I'm not gonna get into those. But another thing is he would have to eat too much, and his heart, it would be too difficult for his heart to pump blood into his head because of gravity. That's too much blood to get to his head. For him to realistically exist, he would have to be like on all fours, or his head would have to be more like in front of him, so it doesn't have to pump up; it pumps like sideways. So there's a bunch of articles and videos about people doing that.
Looks pretty possible to me, right, Steve?
I mean, I'll let Gabe have this one.
All right. So now we'll move on to a Top Shot drop. So, or a break, I guess. So, like in the past weekend, or since episode 2, there was another episode 1. There was a Cool Cats drop. We all tried to get in it. I think I was like in line for 290,000. So I didn't get in it. Really, none of us got in it except for Gabe / Tori. So Gabe, without further ado, we'll let you do your break.
Yes. So this is actually Tori's account. But our assets will soon be combined at one point, so it's our account. So when there's drops, I get in line, and so does Tori, and we just hope that one of us, gets a pack. So this time I got like 200. I was like 200,000 in line, and Tori was 55 out of 75,000. So she was able to cop a Cool Cats pack. So. We got this, what was it, Monday, right? Yesterday?
Yeah, it was Monday.
Yeah. So I have no idea what this can be, and I'm about to open it.
So we saved this just for the podcast, everybody.
Yeah,
Gabe's waited patiently.
Gabe's been waiting.
Shit, that is so
loud. And this
loud.
is cool, too, for people that actually haven't even copped a...
Can y'all hear that or no?
Yeah, this is...
No, you're good.
It's not that
loud.
What it's like.
No,
Shit,
play it.
That was loud.
Play it, Gabe.
Play it?
No, yeah, leave the audio.
Yeah,
okay, well, I can barely hear you guys.
Well, like, people that haven't even got a pack, like, yeah, they could at least see what it's like to open up a pack.
For sure.
I really can't hear y'all at all.
It's okay. We don't...
Just play through.
All right, well, I'm going to be talking.
But left to right, Gabe.
All right, left to right. Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice.
There we
Fox?
go.
Is that the Cool Cats?
Aaron Fox.
No, it says base set.
Yeah, it's a base set.
That's a good one, though.
That is good.
I actually have his actual physical rookie cards. I have a few.
All right, I'm going to open up the second one. Oh, another dunk.
Ooh,
Mitchell.
Nice.
that's a nice pack.
Ooh. That one's
little
nice.
Slam.
20,000 out of 35,000. Nice dunk. So those two are both CCs. Let's see if we get an LE right here. Is that a LaMelo?
Look at all these
No,
Bridges.
Miles Bridges.
Ooh.
That's still a CC.
Mellow assist.
Pretty low serial number.
They're all dunks so far.
Could have a nice little dunk collection.
There's layup.
Layup.
Is this a Cool Cat?
This is your Cool Cats.
Hey, Shea is nice though. He's gonna be.
Yeah, Shay's real nice.
He's nice.
High number though, but it's all right.
Not bad.
No, it's out of 15,000 and it's an LE. So
It's an LE.
It's capped at that, so you're good.
Handles.
Ooh.
Of course, against the
Dang.
Spurs, man.
Right? That's sick.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gotta be against the Spurs, right?
I swear the Spurs are like in every single one.
Good.
They just live to get highlighted on.
That's a nice pack though.
Yeah, I like all these dunks right here are really badass. then,
And they're
of
good
course,
players too. They're all good players.
Yeah. Shai's going to be good. Or he already is good, but he's going to get even better.
Yeah, that LaMelo Miles Bridges connection is nasty. They're like
Yeah.
one of my favorite pairs to watch.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Balling.
Yeah,
He just
Mitchell's
literally
injured.
windmills that.
Yeah, that was violent. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's a solid pack.
Yeah, that's very solid. All right, well, I'll
All right, so
stop
Tori
screen
gets to
sharing now.
control what the value goes for. If she wants to sell or keep.
It's a partnership, but I'll get back to you on that one.
That's fair enough.
Nah, not until you put a ring on it. All right. But yes, since episode 1, also I got an All-Star drop pack. And I recorded it, but I'm not going to be able to put it into this video, so we'll share it in the next one, or in a separate video. But I pulled a couple of good cards. Pulled one good card. I pulled a Luka All-Star dunk, which I actually sold today for, I think, 900. Is what I said. I don't know. I got to look. 800 or 900. But this kind of goes. This is what I was going to mention earlier. Like what's cool about those ones that you just pulled, Gabe, is like those were cool moments in games. Whereas like the one thing when I was debating whether to keep mine or sell it was that it was like a meaningless dunk in an All-Star game. Like I know it's still Luka, but I was like, it's a boring card. Like this card does nothing for me. But like I sent y'all that other moment of him hitting that 3-pointer versus the Clippers in the playoffs. Like that's a badass moment. Like I would love to have that moment. Like it actually meant something in a game. I was watching it live. Like basically dismantled that Clippers team in the playoffs almost. So like that's kind of where I'm at on the Top Shot moments. And like why, like for example, I won't sell my 2 Spurs ones of Lonnie and Keldon is like those were cool moments in games that mattered, not an All-Star game. So I don't know, just my opinion on that. It was definitely cool to pull it, but I was like, if I'm gonna keep it or not, I kind of want it to be a meaningful game moment, and I just felt like the All-Star one was just kind of like it was just
Do you remember how much? I couldn't remember how much that pack cost you. That All-Star pack, or
$229.
Okay.
And I sold a couple of the other cards in it for probably like $90. So 90 plus whatever I sold it for. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But then I bought the Keldon, I bought the Lonnie, and those are cards that like I'll just keep because I actually like them and they're cool moments. And if I find another moment that I like, I'll try to make a move on it. But
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as you. I sold that Bradley Beal one that I gotten from our first pack. Obviously, it didn't sell for that much, and then we could talk about the market, going down too. But I'm holding on to my Spurs moments. Same thing. I have Keldon, Lonnie Walker, and then DeJounte Murray one. But I kind of, I was thinking the same way. I kind of want to keep my Spurs moments, and like I want to eventually get something like bigger, like like that Luka one that you sent us earlier, where it actually like means something, and then also how randomized the queue actually is, because we've been trying. I know me and Steve now I
can't figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've had bad luck. It's just really randomized. It just in the All-Star pack, Joe is the only one out of like 7 of us that were trying that got it, and then Gabe yesterday, or Tori
Yeah, I still haven't got one. Tori got it.
Yeah.
Tori's like 1 for 2. I'm like 1 for 8. Not even. You got the 1 pack for me, so I'm like 0 for 8.
Yeah. So it just shows how random it really is and how hard it really is to get an actual pack.
Yeah, you just have to go for every drop. I mean, that's really all you can do. And yeah, I mean, I've tried getting in super, super early, right when the queue opens. Like I'm like there in the waiting room thinking maybe I'll have a better shot. Nope, I did that for this last pack drop yesterday for the Cool Cats. And I got in right when you texted us, G, and I ended up getting in place like 117,000 or something like that. Like a pointless number. So it's, I don't know.
That was like me the other way too. That was like me the other way too. When Joe got his, I got on kind of early. Like I was like, as soon as I got the notification that the queue was open, I got in, and I ended up being like last out of like all of our friends that were in line. But this one, I kind of waited a little bit. I know we kind of joked around. We're like, Joe was like, too soon. Should
have waited a little bit longer.
But so yeah, it really is just random, and I think it just proves it how we've seen it so far.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep hanging on. I haven't sold anything yet. I have a Rising Stars Luka Doncic. Did I say right? Luka Doncic. There you go. And right when that pack had dropped and I got the moment, it went up to about 900, and now it's been on a little bit of a decline. I think people are starting to undercut. So I'm still hanging on because I feel like it'll still go up. It's still an LE moment. It's still a Rising Stars moment. So, but also too, we don't know moving forward with a lot of these future drops, how they've already started implementing, like you have to have 3 moments already in your thing. For all we know, there could be another drop like must have 10, must have, you know what I mean? So like to make little sales here and there on some of these other cards, I'd rather just hang on to them for now. Because like I had mentioned before, I still think these are rookie cards or rookie moments for this future of NFTs, and who knows where it goes. I mean, I don't know. And plus, with the way that they have it set up right now, where you can't even take your money out within a reasonable amount of time. I think it's anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks if you really want to actually withdraw money into your personal account. So I'd rather just kind of hang on and kind of see what happens.
Yeah, I still have my Jaylen Brown because I was like, that's actually a cool dunk. I like it. I have a CJ McCollum handles jumper that I was like, okay, this is a cool moment too. I like CJ McCollum, so I'll keep that one. But like my thing is like, I know it sucks and it's hard, but I'm just gonna keep buying packs if I can, and just build that way. Unless I see a moment that like,
oh, for
I'm
sure.
like, damn, I want that moment. Like, so I have some money in my Dapper account. So if I see something that I really like, or if something gets to a price where I'm just like, okay, yeah, I can afford that without coming out of pocket, then I'm all in. But I think no matter what, we should keep buying packs, at least for the foreseeable future.
For sure.
Just no reason not to, if we can.
That's your best bet. I mean, for $9, $14, it's a given. No matter what, you won't lose that $9 or $14, or even in your case, you spent $230 or $229. You still netted positive, regardless of how you look at it. So if anybody's trying to get into Top Shot and is trying to get these packs, like go for every drop, even if it's one of the higher dollar ones. You're gonna make your money back. Unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to withdraw it within 2 to 3 business days, but you're not gonna be losing money. They're all at least gonna net you bare minimum break even, but I don't even think even a base pack will break even. I think you'll still make something off of it.
Yeah, because almost every card goes for at least like $10 to $15 just for one moment.
Yeah.
So you'll make your money back.
That was kind of like my Bradley. That's kind of what I was saying about Bradley Beal, the one that I literally sold it today for like 95. I think I had bought that one from not Rising Stars, but from one of those. It was like $14, I think, for that pack. So I already made my money.
Scene Stars, I think.
Scene Stars, yeah. So I already made my money back and some from that, and now I have some in my Dapper where I can you know, if there's another pack drop, that's, I don't know, $100, and I'm already like covered, you know. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like
definitely.
but that's what
another reason
That's what I wanted to ask about too, was the whole market, because like the lowest asking for Bradley Beal was like 160, and then today I checked and it was like, you know, like in the 90s. So
it's just
I think still hang on to it, man. I mean, is your Bradley Beal a CC or an LE?
it was an LE. It sold, but
Oh, you sold low?
yeah, I sold low. I was
Buy
just,
high,
I
sell
mean, I
low.
didn't really care about it that much. It was a layup too, you know. But I mean, I want to try to
Man, I
get
love
something.
layups, though, man.
I want to try to get something nicer, but we'll see.
I mean, I guess so. I guess put it this way: if there's that one moment like that you feel really good about, either A, it's a player you just truly love. It's a moment that you like have a connection with. Like maybe you're at a friend's place or you're at a bar, you know, celebrating somebody's birthday. You're watching the game on the TV. You remember that moment, like you want to own it. Then I could definitely see it being fine selling some of your moments just to try to obtain that one that means something to you. If you need, you know, to bring in a little bit of extra money, I would definitely do something like that. But if you don't have to sell these moments, I still think, and this is just kind of my strategy in this, is just hang on to them, because like you remember just at the start of March when we got into these pack drops, it was like us and there was like 100,000 people in line. Just look at the one on Monday. We got in line and it was now pinging like almost over 300,000 people were in line trying to get it. It's just starting to turn into a numbers game. Like, even though these moments might not be like the best moments in the world, people are still going to need to buy moments at some point to build collections in order to complete challenges or even buy future packs. So I think that your moment is still going to go up in value, because even if it's one out of 35,000, at some point when we have 1 million users,
Yeah.
I mean, people are going to need that moment or even want that moment. You just never even know.
Yeah, I clicked on the guy that bought my Bradley Beal. I clicked on his profile today just to kind of look at it, and I saw he had a bunch of them. So I guess he's going for that KD challenge, and he probably just helped him out
Really?
nicely. But but yeah.
You bought on the, yeah, you bought it right. But again, too, I mean, everybody has different strategies going into this, and you know, it's still so new. We won't really know what this is going to be. In 6 months, a year, 2 years from now.
when I was listening to that my mint, was it podcast, the one you always send, Gio, my first mint or something, or
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to that podcast about the marketplace volatility, and he kind of just broke it down like, look, you know, especially from crypto, that there's a lot of volatility in all of these things. He's like, it's just kind of to be expected, and just kind of went into that. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, I understand it, but I'm like, if there's that volatility, I want to sell my card. I was comfortable selling it at 900, and the chance that I'd be able to buy the one I really want for around 1100, 1200,
Right.
which I'd be like, I'd pay up a little bit for that. I don't want to spend the 1500, but I'd pay up for 1100-ish range.
That
for
makes
it.
sense. Yeah, like the
And
whole
it-
market.
it-
The whole market's down. It's not just like.
And there are fewer. There's a little bit more moments to that one. There's like 35, 24. But like my thing, it's a series one. It's 3,524, but it's a series one, and like I said, it's a moment in a game where like I remember just watching it at my parents' house, and I was just like screaming when he hit that shot. I was like, "Let's go!" Like just going wild. And so I'm like, "All right, that's if I can, that's a moment that I want to buy, and I'm not going to go out of pocket $1,500 cash." So if it's in my Dapper
Absolutely.
balance, that's one thing. But if I'm having to come
Gabe,
out of
have you
pocket
looked at
cash,
that you got to see? I mean, just I don't know how quick you looked at it, just to see like how much any of them are running for, or.
Let me. Shy one's probably gonna be the priciest, or the Steph or Donovan.
nah, probably your Shea.
Shea, or yeah,
Your
I guess Steph
It was
is
a-
like a base series, but
it was a Cool Cats too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going for like 93.
it's not bad.
Not bad.
But I would definitely say like what Steve said earlier is like, you know, for him especially, he's still so young and like up and coming. Like that's basically like a rookie card, you know, in this kind of structure.
But if you do it right, like if you start researching kind of the cards or the moments that you really want, and start to kind of track them, doing the strategy like Joe's doing, where he's able to obtain a pack. Obviously, first you want to get a pack. If you could get a pack, then it's going to be a lot easier and cost effective to obtain the moments that you really want. But if you could do it right, I mean, you could be getting, you know, these high dollar cards for, you know, way less. I mean, if you think about it, Joe, at some point, if he pulls the trigger on a $1,200 moment, really only spent, you know, maybe $100 after he sold the other moments to recoup, you know, for a card that could go up in value even more. And it's something that he really wants. So I would definitely say if you could get the packs, open them, and then try to flip what you can to get those moments that you really desire, do that before you go out and just drop the money flat out for that moment. Unless you have a ton of just, you know, extra capital laying around that you just want to play around with. But I think that's definitely the strategy if you want to obtain some of those bigger moments.
Yeah, because technically I'm only out of pocket like 150 because I sold my Giannis moment for 500 and I bought that one for like $14. But then I bought that other pack. I bought the Porzingis, and so I only had like $100 in my account. So I had to add like 130 to buy the All-Star drop pack, and then I bought like that our first pack, I think, which was like $9, the pre-order.
Yeah.
So I think total like cash, I'm only out like 150, and I have about almost 1,000 in Dapper money, and then I have a couple of cards that if I really wanted to, I could try to sell and upgrade a moment. But like I said, I like those Spurs moments, so those aren't going to be the ones I try to liquidate to get a bigger moment.
Yeah. And if you think about it too, I mean, you've been in it for a month, and theoretically, if you wanted to say, I'm out, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm going to go invest in something else, you just netted, you know, almost $900 to $1,000 within a month of just flipping.
Yeah, and honestly, I think like our best buys are going to be that Keldon card, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm hoping he blows up more and more.
I got a few of his actual physical rookie cards. I'm hoping he blows up.
He should.
And even on Top Shot, he only has 3 moments, and the other moments are going for decent money. Going for like 688 and 394, and they're all 3 are LEs.
I would definitely be itching to sell maybe 1 or 2 and try to get something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell any, but I mean, Keldon would be nice.
Yeah,
and it's at least like once we start. Yeah, the dunk, right?
Yeah, the Lonnie dunk.
I think the 3 of us have that same Lonnie one.
Yeah.
And then me and Joe got the Keldon one.
But like once we start going back to games and stuff, and like I don't know, I feel like we'll get even more hyped about it all. And then if we go to games that they eventually make moments for, we have to get those. Like, or other people will feel that same way, and it'll drive the price up a bit.
Well, it's even cool now watching these games, like after being a part of Top Shot, like you see it play and you're like, you know what, that'd be a pretty sick moment. You kind of like are hoping maybe they make that into a moment. So it just kind of gets you a little bit involved in the game in a different way, seeing that it could maybe be something that you could obtain and own a piece of that moment. I think it's cool. I'm excited, you know, for other sports to adapt into this. I know UFC is right around the corner on them doing something like this. Just imagine having some of those like super crazy knockout moments or super crazy submissions, like there's so many in UFC. It's going to be pretty insane.
Well, think about also the playoff moments and like imagine like finals moment, like the LeBron. Like think about they had Top Shot like back in like a couple of years ago, and they had the LeBron block or the Kyrie shot like in the finals. Like that would have been awesome though, and I could only imagine how much that would go for. But just for like the finals moments and playoff moments to come, there's gonna be some awesome moments coming.
Yeah, that was another thing they talked about too. I think on one of those live streams that Top Shot or those mints, Top Mint did, was how like all the moments like that we have or like we see now are like literally like crickets in the gym because of COVID and all that. And so like and then so like once like fans are back in as they're starting to come back in and like just seeing like that reaction in the crowd when like the player goes down.
Or like those Lillard game winners, like those playoff game winners from Lillard. Those would be awesome moments. Yeah,
that could be sick.
Or when he starts waving off OKC, the whole like
that moment would be awesome because they would play it through the end to when he's waving.
So I think it's
I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it. Like all these moments actually are like super crickets. I'm like looking at my collection right now and like there's just nobody there.
Just
they're like regular season games. Half these guys are probably not even trying really.
No, they're trying. He's trying.
Some players are trying. Some players aren't trying.
See, but that's like my Luka card. Like he was just like Kawhi wasn't even guarding him.
Yeah,
it's like
that's not trying.
I was like,
I think I like
a boring moment.
I think I like my Luka though because he is putting the moves on Zion. So I think those are two super high caliber players in the league. That I mean, he didn't dunk it. It's a nice little finger roll action, but I think it's cool.
Yeah. So FYI, the Twitter handle that we've been referring to is at the First Mint.
Okay.
They cover NBA Top Shot analytics. They have their own podcasts and streams. But they're pretty knowledgeable and they always talk about or tweet about drops and when they're happening and go into details.
We're gonna overtake them soon. So
we're
coming for you, the First Mint.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get Mark. We'll get Mark Cuban on and stuff like that too.
He texted me back, but I told him I was busy.
But yeah, I was listening to another podcast today about NFTs in general, and it was talking about also like music NFTs, and like this is something that I kind of wanted to get y'all's take on because at first I was like, why would someone pay for a music NFT when you can stream? Like it's kind of the same idea we had when you first get into Top Shot. Like, why would I buy this moment if I can just watch it on YouTube or whatever? But the way that he was describing it, and he used to work at Spotify and be like an exec there, the way he was describing it is that artists may be able to actually make more money by selling the NFTs and like the rights to their music to fans rather than from streams. And so like one super fan, like Drake comes out with a new song and I'm just like loaded. And I'm like, damn, I love that song. Like he goes off like, I want to own that song. So I buy it. He gets his cut of it. And then if for whatever reason I were to sell it later, like he would get his cut of it again. But that I would basically leave it on the internet for others to enjoy for free. So it's still kind of like streaming. But it said that he was kind of bringing up the idea that it might make more financial sense for the artist to go that way than to get paid from ad revenue. So it was just something I heard earlier today that kind of like got me thinking. I'm like, I could see it happening for like the biggest artists. I don't know about some of the ones in the middle. I could definitely see it helping some of the ones at the low end, right? Like ones that are just up and coming and they're not really getting a lot of streams. And even then the streams don't really pay that much. But someone that like, hey, we're all fans of this guy. Like he's selling his second song for $2,000. Y'all want to go in on it or something like that? So I could kind of see it working that way also. I just don't know how the artists in the middle really make out, but it seems interesting.
I guess my question would be like for like Top Shot. I mean, if we're comparing it, like they're gonna release like 10,000 LEs of a certain moment. So like, would it just be literally like one song, or can all four of us go buy that song still? You know what I mean? Like, is there
the way he made it sound was one song.
Okay.
It was like one and a non-fungible token for the song. And then you would kind of like listen to it. I mean, it'd basically be like you could still stream it, but it would make more sense for the artist money-wise that way than to rely on ad revenue stream money. Because like they get paid like 0.001 of a cent per stream. You know what I mean?
I wonder if like you, so like that's like you, like let's say you bought that Drake one and then like so you're like playing it. Can you make more money off of it, or is it, or or all the money that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I mean. I would wonder, but.
Or do you even have to play?
Yeah.
Could you just be greedy and not play it for anybody?
well, like, you
that's
think
what I
about
was
it,
gonna say.
think of the Farmer Bro. Like that's what he did with that Wu-Tang album.
Yeah, the Wu-Tang. Yeah.
He bought it for $1 million and then didn't release it or anything.
He still has it, right?
Like, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, assuming that somebody isn't as nice as maybe Joe would be and let everybody listen to his favorite Drake song, I don't really see how it. I could see it maybe benefiting the artist, but I don't see it, at least not in that sense. Because say he releases one song, Drake, you're a super Drake fan, but you only spend, I don't know, $20 million to get that one song. But Drake, over the time of having that streaming on Spotify for the next 10 years, could net 50 million, 60 million plus.
See, but I doubt he makes that per song. Imagine if you made 50 million per song. I mean, like, I don't think. And most artists make their money on tours. They don't make their money on streams or.
But I'm saying this is over the course of a period. I mean, a long period. I mean, I think if we look back at the early Drake songs, I mean, people are still streaming them today. I mean, you could look it up, but I think streaming is very lucrative for the artist. I mean, I don't think Drake would have a 777 Boeing private jet in the air if he wasn't doing all right.
No, streaming isn't that lucrative for most artists. Artists get paid on touring. That's where they make their money. They get paid $1 million a show to go sell out AT&T Center, Frank Irwin Center. That's where artists really make their money. But they don't get the touring without the streams. So they kind of have to give up money on the front side to streams, so that way they can make up money on tours and merch, because that's really where they're going to make their money.
I guess like the streams basically lets them just kind of play it out almost essentially for free to everybody.
And get bigger.
And, yeah, just let their name grow. And then. So I guess that'll be the thing to see. I'm curious like to just see how much, like a big artist like Drake makes off streams in a year or a 5-year period.
Well, I've heard this brought up before about NFTs with music. I don't know if it was Joe that brought it up or heard it on another NFT podcast, but how is that different back in 2007 when we could buy a song off iTunes and own the song? Aren't you theoretically owning a piece? Basically, you're owning that song, a NFT. I mean, that's your song. You own it. I mean, you paid 99 cents for it.
But you could also get the same song like copied from LimeWire, right?
Right. Technically, you don't own it. Because you can't re-upload that and make money on it. You can't resell it to make money on it. Like, you basically own the rights to play it for your personal use. You can't go to a club and play it, technically. So, like, in theory, like, when we would buy them on iTunes, you would never really own it. You just own the rights to be able to press play on your iPod when you wanted to. But, yeah, I don't really have a side on this.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, though. I guess I wonder, like, my question would be, like, if I bought that, if I spent the money on that song, can I profit from it by playing it or streaming it, or all that, the rest of the money that is just going straight to that artist? Or...
I mean, technically, yeah, it's your song. I mean, Drake will always get a cut. It's like the digital art pieces now, like, what is it, Beeple? Like, his first art piece that he sells for what, I don't know, was it $69 million, something crazy? The next person that sells that, he will still get a portion of the profit from the next sell. And then the next sell, he'll still get a cut of that profit. And then the following sell, as long as that thing keeps getting sold, he will always be getting a piece of that profit. So I could see that concept going over to the music side. But say somebody never wants to sell that song, or they don't want to release it, then what happens to the artist? They make one song, they sell one song, and nobody ever gets to listen to it. Like, that's where I think that gives some people a little too much control over, because then that could hinder the artist's like progression and getting more out there to more people if somebody doesn't want to let you listen to their songs. Like,
or there could be a situation like Ja Rule and 50 Cent, where 50 Cent bought all Ja Rule's tickets, so no one showed up to the concert. 50 Cent could just buy all Ja Rule's songs, and no one would ever hear him.
Just trash him.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. The people that the big artists with money would just. basically,
And
so, but
basically hog.
Yeah, like think about
Yeah.
it. There's like another guy coming. Drake could just buy this guy's songs and not release them. Like, I think there would have to be like a certain set of rules or something to like, where they have to play it and you just own it's like this song. Just like how NBA, you could still see these moments on YouTube, but you own the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so to give you an idea of the most expensive song royalties or like total earnings for the song is by the Hill Sisters. The title of the song is Happy Birthday. And over the course of since it
good
was
song.
first started, it basically has earned 50 million. And that's on the absolute top highest song royalties ever. So I mean, none of these artists are really making 50 million from their songs.
Okay,
So
but that's
it's-
one song. How many songs does Drake have? I mean, think
No, I
about
know.
it.
I agree, but I'm just saying that not each song would be worth 50 million. Is it worth a couple million? Probably. Or is like an album worth a couple million? Probably. But yeah, just something to think about. Thought it was
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, it's interesting to see where this NFT is gonna go. I mean, we know it's the future. We know it's going to be the next thing. Where I think Gary Vee is the one that said like 98% or 99% of NFT projects will fail. But it's going to be interesting to see that 1% or that 2% that do succeed and become like the future. That's going to be exciting. I mean, the technology is it's there. So
Yeah. So transitioning a bit from online basketball to live basketball, what have y'all been thinking about the March Madness so far? What has been y'all's favorite upset?
Not UNC. Yeah, my bracket's
No,
just wrecked. Like,
I don't think there's
I
one
should have did
perfect
that Pluckers
bracket
challenge where you pick the losers because that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, for sure. I got my bracket would have been complete trash if Houston would have lost the other day. It is still kind of trash because I had Texas going to, I think at least the Elite Eight, maybe the Final Four, and then they lost. So I'm like, it just keeps getting worse. But yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't know. Gee, where's your bracket at?
I mean, can you guys hear me? I think
Yeah.
my AirPods I don't know if they died or what. Sorry, but
Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah, no, my bracket was doing pretty. I mean, I usually do 3 brackets, so to be fair, like I don't have just one bracket that's like. So I usually do one that like teams I think I like to do one with like some upsets that I see. So one of my brackets is like, last I checked was in literally like the 99th percentile. So that was kind of cool. But looking ahead, it's gonna fall back here because I mean I picked like Loyola and like I actually did have Loyola going where they are now, but like Oral Roberts, like I didn't have them where they are. I did pick Ohio actually in one of those too. So I mean I saw some of those and just kind of listening to like analysts and stuff, and obviously like Virginia against Ohio was a game that everybody, even like analysts were picking Ohio because of the situation Virginia was in with COVID and stuff. They had some players out. So, but yeah, no, I mean it's been a good tournament. I think the upsets are like it's gonna happen every year now. There's no way to get like a perfect bracket really.
I feel like there's more upsets this year, or it might just be me. I don't know.
I remember. I mean, I know because last year there was obviously nothing. But I'm pretty sure there's.
I mean, would you say the upsets happened earlier though? I mean, there's always upsets in March Madness, but would you say that the upsets happened way earlier than people probably anticipated them? Like, just in that first day of games, like they already have a couple of big upsets and just destroy people's brackets?
Yeah, I mean, I have to look up my bracket exact, but like I just know that 12-5 for whatever reason like always brings up like every time I look at a bracket every year, it's like you have to look at the 12-5 and basically pick a 12 to win because like it's like almost there's a high chance that that's going to happen, and so like that, and I think it did happen this year, But yeah, I mean, it's. Let me see. I'm pulling up my bracket real quick.
Yeah, I messed up, man. I didn't get my bracket in time. I kept forgetting, and
But the guy, I know
got
we
lazy.
talked about it last week. I mean, I told you guys Gonzaga, and they seem to be kind of cruising right now. I don't know if there's a team that can really beat them unless they're gonna have to beat themselves basically.
COVID.
Do you have them winning it all?
Yeah, but so does like a bunch of other people in my group. So it's like everybody's gonna be getting points throughout, and it's gonna come down to getting those other games right because everybody has Gonzaga. But yeah, so just like, I mean, the 12-5 that I was talking about, so I had looked at Georgetown versus Colorado. I had picked Georgetown for that one. They lost, but so that's kind of what I meant by looking at those. Oh, there it is. So Oregon State was the 12 seed, and they beat the 5 seed Tennessee. So there's one right there, you know, and I feel like that 12-5 has been happening like for the past couple tournaments now.
That was like the first day, right?
Yeah.
Was that upset? Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the Sweet 16, and there's good teams, good matchups. So you can actually go, Steve, and you can go make your bracket from now. They do like these, you know, the bracket from the Sweet 16, so you can just kind of pick for fun, and still get into action.
Where, like on ESPN or what website?
Yeah, ESPN does them, and CBS, I think, but.
Yeah, send that link. I want to redo my bracket. I don't like my bracket.
Yeah, I'll send. We can do a Sweet 16 one from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we do this? Why don't you send us and us four do a Sweet 16 bracket so we could see how we all stack up against each other going into the next podcast. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah, and we'll link to it in the description. So if anyone wants to join us and see if they can beat us, you can join us there.
That Texas game was probably the one that was one of the big ones too. That Texas Abilene Christian game.
I still can't believe that.
But that was the same thing too. They talked about it. They were like, Abilene Christian plays really good defense, and sure enough, they forced Texas into like, I don't know, 12 to 15 turnovers. So it's all about matchups in this tournament because it just takes one game. It's not like the NBA where you get, you know, best out of 7-game series where most of the time the better team is going to win. But in one, all it takes is just one game here in this tournament.
Yeah, and if you get the right matchup, I mean, if you get a team that doesn't really play defense versus a team that just plays a ton of defense and can score, I mean, like you said, anything could happen. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's what makes it so fun.
When is the next? When is it? Are we in the Sweet 16 already?
Yeah, so
Saturday.
It'll be Saturday. Yeah, is it Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, I think.
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They'll do 4 days again. Historically, it's been like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I think they did adjust it a little bit.
Yeah, because I guess
there was games on Friday.
Well, there's no traveling or anything, right? They're all just in one city.
It could be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I know it's 4 days in a row, and I know it starts Friday or Saturday. But what were you saying, Steve?
It's all in the same city, right? There's no traveling this year at all.
Yeah, they're still in Indianapolis. But they'll get some more practice time. You know, now they know who they're playing next, obviously, and then they also look to see, you know, maybe not too far because you don't want to get too ahead, but they're looking to see who they could potentially be playing next because you don't have time to practice. You know, you're playing two teams no matter what if you win, so you don't have time to practice or really prepare. So they're probably doing that over these next 2-3 days.
It's Saturday through Tuesday.
Saturday. What time's the first game on Saturday?
I think it's still to be determined. No, I think I saw some times already. Because I know Houston's like the last game on Saturday.
So there should be 4 games Saturday and 4 games Sunday if I'm right.
I think so.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
might miss some of the Saturday games.
They're probably not going to be. They're not going to be too early as they were for the round 1 and 2, where they had to get in like 16 games in a day. So
I think the earliest one is like
noon.
2.
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's probably like 2
Eastern.
4.
So
2, 4, 6, and 8 or something like that.
Yeah, so basically 1 o'clock our time, then 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock our time, I think, and then the last game's Houston at like 8:45, I think.
Yeah.
And our time's Central.
Yeah, Central Time.
We got international listeners, Joe, and
True. Central
people all over.
Standard Time.
Yeah, Central. We got people all over the country listening. So
I've been
All right,
looking
we'll
at
get in-
time zones so much now because of the Top Shop drops. I see like Pacific, and I'm like, I already kind of know like what it is our time, and I'm still like triple checking just to make sure I don't miss it.
This last one confused me bad. I was like, all right, cool. So it's going to be at 10 a.m. And I was like, wait, no, that's Eastern. I was like, this is Pacific.
And then they delay them, so then I get even more confused because I'm like, okay, it's 12 our time, and now it's 2 their time, and I'm like, what is that? What is it now?
I don't know why they do it. It's frustrating, but I'll tell you what, my like Google is like automatically on like a conversion chart for like this time to Central. Like everything's like converted to Central.
All right, so we'll go into everyone's favorite topic, what we're watching and listening to. So I'll start this one off. So I watched the Zack Snyder's
Justice League. Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was long, 4
4
hours.
hours.
Yeah, 6 parts, and I kind of broke them up in parts. I kind of did 2 parts at a time, but it was good. I mean, what is y'all's take? I didn't see the first one. Did y'all?
I'm hugely disappointed with just kind of how DC went with their movies compared to like Marvel. So after like the Christian Bale Batmans, which are my favorites, like those are like the best 3 in my opinion. When they started doing things like with Superman and bringing in Ben Affleck as Batman, like the Superman versus Batman, like was just, I think that was like the last one that I saw. I was just like, yeah, this is just not, it just wasn't like good. I don't know, like just the directing, just the production, everything compared to how Marvel has just done such a good job at everything. I kind of stopped watching anything DC related. This one I might watch just because a lot of the YouTubers I follow that do a bunch of like reviews and stuff like on Marvel and kind of break down Marvel stuff. They've had some pretty decent things to say, so I think that I'll break it up into 6 parts. I mean, it's on HBO Max, so I said, well, I mean,
it's free, so
I guess it doesn't hurt to just give it a shot. I mean, it seems kind of cool. I think my expectations are just so high from just the Marvel universe and the way that it, Infinity War and Endgame broke down. Like those are probably 2 of my favorite movies like of all time. Like I guess I have to go in with no expectation. I think if I go in with no expectation, I might enjoy it, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess is it worth? I guess that's my question. Is it worth 4 hours of my time?
yeah, nothing better to do. Did you watch it, Gabe?
No, dude, I'm in the same position as Steve. Like, I'm just Team Marvel, and I was actually more into DC Comics growing up, but I just don't like the direction of the DC like universe in the movies. To be honest, I've only seen like Superman, and I saw Batman versus. Really didn't like it. Part of the reason because I read the Superman versus Doomsday comic, and I feel like they just kind of like rushed and put that story that could have been a movie on its own. I feel like, and they kind of like combined that with the Batman versus Superman movie, and I was just like, and especially this movie came out around the time when like all the Avengers movies were coming out and like Infinity Wars, so it's like clearly Infinity Wars is just way better. So I didn't see Aquaman. I haven't seen Wonder Woman. They're on my list. I know I got to watch them eventually. And I heard those were better DC movies, but I just got to, watch those. But I haven't seen the Zack Snyder one, Justice League. I've seen pieces like of the regular Justice League, the first one on TV. And that one wasn't good. So I just had really no interest. But I think I'm going to give it a shot just because everyone keeps talking about it. And I don't know. I might as well just get up to date with everything that's been going on with DC, with the DC universe. It's about time. I have nothing better to do.
Nothing better.
Yeah, my thing, like, I'm not even a big superhero comic book guy. I like Batman, the trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy is hands down my favorite. And I like some of the old school Spider-Mans with not obviously Peter Parker, but
Tobey Maguire.
yeah, Tobey Maguire. um, but I haven't been that into it. But I like this one. It was long. Wonder Woman was also really long, but it was on HBO Max. I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. That's
I
kind
heard
of
that
my.
one
If you want
wasn't
to get me to
that
watch
good.
one, I'll just put on HBO Max and I'll watch it. Yeah, it was not bad. I didn't really have expectations for it, so I think that helped. But it was long.
Do you have to watch Wonder Woman and Aquaman before Justice League? I don't even know the order.
I don't. I mean, I didn't, and I knew. I mean, I knew what they do. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
pretty.
what I was watching from some of the YouTube reviewers, I think they said kind of you don't really have to, because I think the reason why it's so long is they do a little bit of like kind of backstory and build up
on each
to
of them,
to the
yeah.
whole thing. So I think that's why it's so long. So I guess you could just jump in, but I mean you have basic knowledge of like the DC universe. I think you'll be fine,
Yeah.
and just to jump in and do it. But yeah, I don't know. I did watch the first episode of Winter Soldier and Falcon that came out last Friday. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm excited to kind of see where this goes and how it ties into things. And that's where I think Marvel's just killing it when it comes to these movies. Like they're doing things like this, and like they're building this huge universe, but like you understand everything. You understand why these characters are there and here, and they're developing their storylines and everything. And DC just hasn't done any of that. Like it's just like the Suicide Squad movie was just. I feel like that could have been such a cool movie, and I just did not enjoy it. Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn one, was okay, but I feel like again that could have been a pretty awesome movie, and they just kind of.
I forgot those existed. Those are ones I haven't seen either.
You haven't seen Suicide Squad?
Or Birds of Prey.
I think
I'm
I saw
real
Birds
behind
of
on
Prey
DC.
on yeah, but I don't know. But not American, Winter Soldier and Falcon, definitely if you have Disney Plus, check it out.
Yeah, I saw that one this episode. There was lots of action and storyline of what they've been up to, and then the ending was pretty cool. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but the ending of that first episode, awesome.
What are you watching, G?
I was about to say. I haven't really been watching any. The only thing I've been watching have been the games. I know y'all and the guys don't think I do anything, but I'm swamped right now this week with work.
Got a whole week to watch something.
I'm coaching 2 soccer teams, so I had practice yesterday, practice today, I have practice tomorrow, game Thursday, and then I leave to Puerto Rico on Saturday with my family for a week. So maybe during that time I'll be able to watch something, but I also will probably not.
Just download it on your phone so you can at least watch it on the plane.
We'll be at the beach and the hotel, resort, pool, and stuff like that. So
Did you finish
Vegas
on the plane?
Tiesto.
the what? Yeah, I finished that. That was a good movie. Yeah, Steve and
Which
Chris gave it. Tenet.
I told you it was good. You just have to have
Yeah.
basic knowledge of like physics and
Quantum
That was
physics.
good.
quantum
Yeah, I liked
physics, and like it's,
Oh, I minored in that, so I might enjoy it.
yeah. I mean, but just basic knowledge. Like you don't have to be like an expert at it or anything. The theory of relativity and time travel and stuff.
Yeah,
It's,
it was good.
But I will tell you this though. Go to YouTube and watch like some of the explanations of it. It'll make it all tie in and make sense. I guess it's kind of unfortunate you have to watch something that kind of breaks it down a little bit more for you. But once it's broken down, like it's actually pretty cool. Like there's a ton going on in the movie. Like it's like Inception, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Like you could watch it a bunch of times and kind of find new little things throughout the movie. And even to this day, I don't know if he was dreaming or not. Spoiler if y'all haven't seen Inception. Sorry.
Well, what's your? Just make a call. What was he doing?
I think it was a dream.
Fair. I haven't seen it, but
Because I don't know. I think he was dreaming the whole time. Or I think he was still in the dream state. Yeah.
that's fair. What else y'all been watching? Anything? Any recommendations?
What did I watch? I don't know if y'all have ever watched. I mean, I'm huge into cars and like racing and stuff like that. But if there's this show on Netflix. They just came out with the third season, but it's called Formula One. Netflix does like a series on if you like any type of racing, but like
is that about the Formula One that comes to like Austin too?
Yeah, but like it's like this is the third season, but like it goes into their full season and like they document like each team and like all the drivers and the racing, like everything that goes into a Formula One season, and it's super, super interesting. I mean, there's so much that goes into, you know, the teams, the cars, the logistics, and getting, you know, all these cars in each race, you know, to each. If you think about it, Formula One isn't like, it's not like NBA where like there's two games, maybe one in San Antonio, one in Dallas, and then one in Houston. Like these are one race is in Texas, the next one's in Dubai, and then the next one's in China. So like just to get these massive teams and cars and equipment and everything from each race, you know, every other, you know, it's super cool. And I just love racing, but like they do a really good job. And even if you're not very knowledgeable of Formula One, it explains everything, and you get to see the inner workings of it. So they just released the third season on Netflix, so I just started it. It's super cool because this one's actually the season that was recorded during COVID. So right in the first episode, that's when they start talking about like COVID breakouts, and then, you know, so I'm about to see what happens and how it affects their whole season. So, but I like that stuff.
That's cool.
Gabe?
So actually, this is over the span of the past few months or whatever, but Tori and I have actually gotten into like watching older movies, not too old, but like in the 80s, 90s. So like, for example, there's the Goonies, and we saw the third Back to the Future, and then the weeks before we saw the first Back to the Future in part 2. So yeah, we've just been watching a bunch of those like older movies, and those have been cool. Oh, E.T., we saw E.T. 2 weeks ago too. So they're just these like great movies that I hadn't actually seen them in a while, and there was a lot of stuff I didn't forget. Like there was one part of E.T. where like well, everyone's seen E.T., right?
It's pretty old, yeah. You can go.
Yeah, when he like died, I was like, I don't think Tori's ever seen it before, but she was like freaking out and was like, he dies? And I was like, shit, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
so
so long.
Those have been fun to rewatch.
Now that you're older too, like you see stuff that you wouldn't have understood as a kid, or like
exactly. I think that's the main thing. I just saw these movies as a kid, and you know, I remember like the big moments and stuff. But actually, really watching stuff, it's like better to like understand it now that I'm older.
I love watching Disney movies now as I'm older because there's so many things that you catch that you never caught as a kid, and like it's funny. There's a lot of some of these Disney writers had some. I guess they had the idea in mind that parents were going to be taking their kids to go watch these movies, so they had to throw in little things in there to just keep it interesting for the parents. So, like now being adults, like I don't know, I have more fun watching some of these Disney movies than I think I did as a kid.
There's crazy seeing some of those like Pixar, where they like show up and coming movies like in the backs of current movies or whatever, like where there's like in Finding Nemo in like the dentist's office, there's like a poster of one of the movies that's going to come out later. Like those are crazy to watch. I'm like,
they showed the Pizza Planet, right, in Finding Nemo. Yeah. They showed the pizza truck from Toy Story.
Pizza Planet. There's a car in Incredibles that's the sheriff from the Cars Disney movie. I can't remember what his name is. It's not sheriff. The blue car. But anyways, there's a scene in Incredibles where that car is like in the background. There's some cool videos on YouTube where like it breaks down all of the like little hidden messages, little Easter eggs. There you go.
Similar topic. E.T. is actually in Wars when there's like in the first episodes when there's like the console of like everybody. He's like one of the booth of all the E.T. like aliens there. I don't know if anyone picked up on that. It's like the only time Star Wars has ever referenced like a different movie within it.
Which one? Which episode?
It's like one or two, maybe even three. It's like the prequels.
Episode 1 or 2, or are we talking about like 4?
Like episode 1, like the ones that were made like in 1999 or.
Okay, so like okay.
It's like when the emperor's like at the head of the Senate, and they shows all those different alien races, like in the little like
Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace with Dark Maul?
Yeah, episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, Because Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were friends, so it was kind of like a nod to like Steven Spielberg's whatever his name
Spielberg.
is.
Spielberg.
What's his name?
Spielberg.
Name?
Spiel.
What is that?
You put a
Spielberg.
German?
I don't know.
But are they not friends anymore? You said they were friends then. Did they like have a falling out?
I think George.
No, I think
Lucas
they're still
is dead,
friends.
isn't he?
I said they were friends.
Oh, Godzilla King Kong comes out on the 31st. I know we talked
Again?
about it.
Who do you think's gonna win?
Hey, fun
I don't
fact:
know
you know
why it's
Godzilla
not-
can't live on this planet.
Yeah. You should fact check that for the next one.
I don't think we have any fact checks for this episode, do we? Does anyone?
Not so
Yeah.
far. The sheriff's name is Sheriff Steve.
No, the sheriff. Not Sheriff Steve, but Sheriff.
Yeah, Sheriff. Sheriff, Steve.
Damn. Incredibles is a good one, too. I love that movie. That movie's so good.
Did y'all ever see, last one, did y'all ever see the Soul movie on Disney
Ooh, that
Plus?
was real good.
Yeah, that
That's
was a
good.
good
I
one.
I wanted to watch it, but no, I never got to. I heard that was good too.
Yeah, it was real good.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
also
gonna be
like
that good, but
Of course,
I was
like
into
I
it the
can
whole
relate
time.
to sports, but like they were talking about it like on ESPN and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a small scene, but yeah, they make fun of the Knicks in there. It's really funny.
Yeah.
It was like
And what?
it was unnecessary. It was just like, wow, they really are picking on the Knicks.
In Soul. All right,
When's,
fellas.
When's Space Jam 2 supposed to come out? With LeBron? Look it up real quick, Joe.
Or Jamie.
It says, yeah, nah. Friday, July 16th is what it says.
Damn, put it in your calendars. It's gonna be,
We'll talk about it every
And
week.
we could
up
maybe
until then.
borrow Jamie for this podcast
Please, if we could do that, that'd be helpful.
to Google everything.
I'm over here like,
Sweating.
we should have somebody, right, like off camera and just like look at them and say like Google it.
there's an option for us to have a producer in here that doesn't show on screen or anything, but can adjust settings for us. And
It's gonna be Steven Spielberg.
all right,
Steven Spielberg, I mean.
well, we hit an hour. Good conversation.
Yeah,
Y'all got anything else to say?
Are we gonna try to get like we get people like fill in, get some questions and stuff.
Yeah, if anyone has any
We're
questions,
getting a lot of people subscribing and stuff like that, so we're getting up there in views and.
keep
We're gonna have some
subscribing,
ads rolling
hit the
in
like
soon.
button, share.
Yeah, like it, follow us. We put our handles on here so you guys can follow us. And
Yeah.
And are you going to be on next week? Or you probably not because you'll be in Puerto Rico, right?
No, you are. You're going to be streaming from.
He's taking his
international-
equipment.
International.
Take your mic and your webcam.
yeah, I might be able to. I thought about it. It did cross my mind. I don't want to let you guys down. So
Do it off no, you can't do it off your phone, right? It's got to be off the computer.
I ended up,
Take your laptop and just be on the beach.
You have to be
in the
somewhat
sand.
sober though.
No.
I'll fill you guys in. We'll
You can't be
talk.
cross-eyed or your eyes rolling back.
Yes, please.
All right.
All right,
All right,
fellas.
fellas.
All right, guys.
Peace out until next time. Thanks for watching. Again, leave us comments, like, subscribe. Any questions, we'll be happy to answer them on the next one. Appreciate it. Have a good one. All right, guys.